Julian Mantle was once the epitome of success, a high-powered attorney in a bustling city, surrounded by the trappings of wealth and prestige. His life was a blur of court cases, lavish dinners, and the constant pursuit of more money, more recognition, more everything. But beneath the polished veneer lay a man who was increasingly hollow, driven by the relentless demands of his career and the societal expectations that came with it. That relentless pursuit came crashing down one fateful day when he collapsed in the courtroom. A heart attack serving as a stark wake-up call. In that moment of vulnerability, Julian was forced to confront the reality of his existence. It was a moment that changed everything. In the sterile confines of a hospital room, Julian began to question the very essence of his life. The accolades, the expensive suits, the luxury car, what did they truly mean? As he lay there, he realized that he had sacrificed his health, his happiness, and perhaps even his soul in the pursuit of material success. The heart attack was not just a medical emergency, it was a profound signal that he needed to reevaluate his priorities. With a newfound determination, Julian decided to embark on a journey that would take him far from the familiar confines of his office and the hustle and bustle of city life. He sold his Ferrari, the symbol of his former life, and set off for the mystical land of India, seeking wisdom and enlightenment. His destination was the Himalayas, where he had heard whispers of the sages of Savannah, a group of enlightened beings known for their profound insights into living a fulfilled life. Upon arriving in India, Julian felt a mix of excitement and trepidation. The air was thick with the scent of spices, the sounds of bustling markets filled his ears, and the vibrant colors of the landscape were overwhelming. But it was the serene beauty of the Himalayas that truly captivated him. As he trekked through the mountains, he felt a sense of peace enveloping him, washing away the stress and anxiety that had once consumed him. After days of searching, Julian finally found the sages of Savannah, residing in a secluded monastery perched high in the mountains. They welcomed him with open arms, sensing the turmoil within him. It was here, among these wise and tranquil souls, that Julian began to learn the 7 virtues of enlightened living, principles that would forever alter the course of his life. The first virtue was mastering your mind. The sages taught Julian that his thoughts shaped his reality. They guided him through meditation practices, helping him to quiet the chaos in his mind and focus on the present moment. He learned the importance of positive thinking and visualization, realizing that by controlling his thoughts, he could take control of his life. Each morning, he would rise with the sun, engaging in deep meditation, allowing the stillness to wash over him. This practice became a cornerstone of his transformation, teaching him to harness the power of his mind rather than be a prisoner to it. The second virtue was following your purpose. Julian had spent years chasing the wrong dreams, those dictated by society rather than his own heart. The sages encouraged him to reflect on his passions and values, guiding him to discover what truly mattered to him. Through introspection and soul-searching, Julian unearthed a deep desire to help others, to make a meaningful contribution to the world. This revelation ignited a fire within him, and he vowed to dedicate his life to serving others, rather than merely accumulating wealth. The third virtue was practicing continuous improvement. The sages instilled in Julian the idea that life is a journey of growth, and there is always room for enhancement. They introduced him to the concept of lifelong learning, emphasizing the importance of reading, seeking knowledge, and embracing new experiences. Julian began to read voraciously, exploring philosophy, psychology, and spirituality. He understood that every day presented an opportunity to learn and grow, and he embraced this mindset wholeheartedly. Discipline was the fourth virtue. The sages taught Julian that discipline was the bridge between goals and achievements. They emphasized the importance of establishing routines and sticking to them. Julian learned to cultivate habits that aligned with his new values. Waking up early, exercising regularly, and dedicating time to his personal development. This newfound discipline transformed his daily life, providing him with a sense of structure and purpose that he had previously lacked. The fifth virtue was respecting your time. In the fast-paced world Julian had come from, time was often squandered in meaningless pursuits. The sages emphasized the finite nature of time and the importance of prioritizing what truly mattered. They taught him to say no to distractions and to focus on activities that brought him joy and fulfillment. Julian began to allocate his time wisely, ensuring that every moment was spent in alignment with his values and purpose. Serving others was the sixth virtue. The sages believed that true fulfillment comes from giving back to the world. Julian learned that acts of kindness and service not only benefited others, but also enriched his own life. He began volunteering in local communities, using his skills as a lawyer to help those in need. Each act of service filled him with a sense of purpose and connection, reinforcing the idea that happiness is found in the service of others. Finally, the seventh virtue was embracing the present. The sages taught Julian the importance of living in the now, free from the burdens of the past and the anxieties of the future. They guided him through mindfulness practices, helping him to appreciate the beauty of each moment. Julian learned to savor the simple pleasures of life, a warm cup of tea, the laughter of children, the breathtaking views of the mountains. Embracing the present allowed him to experience life fully, rather than merely existing in a state of constant striving. As Julian absorbed these teachings, he underwent a profound transformation. He emerged from the Himalayas not just as a man who had left behind a life of materialism, but as someone who had embraced a new way of being. His heart was lighter, his mind clearer, and his spirit more vibrant. When he returned to the West, Julian was filled with a sense of purpose and a desire to share what he had learned. He reconnected with his former colleague, John, who had always admired Julian's success, but had also felt the weight of his own unfulfilled ambitions. Over coffee, Julian shared the 7 virtues of enlightened living, recounting his journey and the insights he had gained. John listened intently, captivated by the profound simplicity of the teachings. Inspired by Julian's transformation, John began to apply the virtues in his own life. He started with mastering his mind, engaging in daily meditation and visualization practices. The changes were gradual but significant. As he learned to control his thoughts, John found himself less reactive to the stresses of his job and more focused on what truly mattered to him. He began to identify his purpose, realizing that he had long neglected his passion for writing. With renewed vigor, John committed to continuous improvement, dedicating time each day to honing his writing skills. He established a disciplined routine, waking up early to write before heading to work. He respected his time, setting boundaries with colleagues and prioritizing his writing over trivial distractions. As he served others, John volunteered to mentor young writers in his community, sharing his knowledge and experience. Each interaction filled him with joy and fulfillment, reflecting the essence of the sixth virtue. Finally, John embraced the present, learning to appreciate the small moments in his life. A quiet evening with a good book, laughter shared with friends, the beauty of a sunset. The transformation in John was palpable. As he embraced the virtues, he became more grounded, more authentic, and more connected to those around him. His relationships deepened, and he found a sense of belonging that had eluded him for years. Julian watched with pride as his friend blossomed, realizing that the journey of enlightenment was not just his own. It was a ripple effect, a shared experience that could touch the lives of many. He began to host workshops, sharing the teachings of the sages of Savannah with anyone willing to listen. People from all walks of life came to hear his story, drawn by the promise of a more meaningful existence. Through his workshops, Julian emphasized the importance of choice in shaping one's destiny. He often reminded his audience that every moment presents an opportunity to choose differently, to align one's actions with one's values. The power of choice became a recurring theme in his teachings, inspiring others to take control of their lives and pursue their true passions. As Julian continued to share his journey, he realized that the 7 virtues of enlightened living were not just abstract concepts, but practical lessons that anyone could apply. He encouraged his audience to engage in self-reflection, to identify their own values and purpose, and to take actionable steps toward personal growth. The impact of Julian's journey extended far beyond his own life. His former colleagues, friends, and even strangers began to awaken to the possibility of a more fulfilled existence. They embraced the virtues, creating a community of like-minded individuals committed to personal growth and service. In the end, Julian Mantle's story was not just about a man who sold his Ferrari. It was about the transformative power of self-discovery and the choices we make. It was a reminder that true fulfillment lies not in the accumulation of wealth or status, but in living a life aligned with our deepest values. As Julian reflected on his journey, he understood that enlightenment was not a destination, but a continuous process of growth and self-discovery. The 7 virtues of enlightened living became guiding principles, illuminating the path toward a meaningful existence. Through his experiences, Julian learned that the power to change one's life lies within each of us. It is a matter of choice, choosing to master our minds, to follow our purpose, to practice continuous improvement, to live with discipline, to respect our time, to serve others, and to embrace the present. In a world that often values superficial success, Julian's journey serves as a powerful reminder that true wealth is found in the richness of our experiences, the depth of our relationships, and the impact we have on others. As he continued to share his message, he inspired countless individuals to embark on their own journeys of self-discovery, reminding them that the choice to live a life of purpose and fulfillment is always within reach. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, stay awesome.